Hey team, welcome back. As your operations lead, I am absolutely thrilled to jump right into part 4 of our explainer. Today, we're tackling an absolute beast of a topic, but one that is completely fundamental to our success: state licensing, federal certifications, and multi-state nuances. Let's just establish the high-stakes reality right out of the gate here. Mastering these credentialing rules, it isn't just about crossing T's and dotting I's. It is literally our frontline defense preventing massive revenue delays. In our world, an administrative oversight doesn't just mean a minor headache. It means a provider can't see patients, and we can't bill for their services.
Okay, let's dive into this. Here is our roadmap for navigating this high-stakes obstacle course. We're hitting the licensing obstacle course, core federal rules, malpractice and lab certifications, top state licensing nuances, supporting documentation, and finishing up with operations best practices.
Section 1. The Licensing Obstacle Course. I really want to emphasize why this matters so much. In the pre-revenue cycle management phase, there is absolutely zero room for error. A minor typo on a demographic form, an incorrect rendering address, or even an unexplained 30-day gap on a CV directly triggers denied claims. It means suspended providers. Payers will flat out reject our enrollment packets, causing immense delays. We really have to view every single piece of data we verify as the key to unlocking patient care and securing our revenue stream.
Section 2. Core Federal Rules.
Let's talk about the Drug Enforcement Administration, or DEA, registration. This is mandatory for any provider, like MDs, DOs, or NPs, who needs to prescribe, dispense, or administer controlled substances. But here's the absolute critical part for our daily operations. This registration doesn't exist in a vacuum. It's directly linked to the provider's state license and is heavily scrutinized during CMS audits. If that DEA registration is out of compliance, the provider's privileges are instantly at risk. Now, what's really interesting about this is how quickly things can go sideways. An expired DEA number doesn't just halt billing, it creates massive legal exposure. And did you know that the DEA address is state-specific? If a provider has the wrong DEA address listed, boom, immediate claim denial. So what's our solution? We have to completely abandon manual tracking. We are going to automate strict 3-year renewal reminders in our systems and absolutely mandate using the DEA lookup tool or the certificate verification system for every single primary source verification.
Section 3. Malpractice and Lab Certifications.
1 million, 3 million. I want to drop these massive numbers right here to anchor us. This represents the standard malpractice or professional liability insurance coverage limits required by most payers. We're talking $1 million per claim and a $3 million aggregate. If our providers do not carry this minimum threshold, they simply won't pass the credentialing phase, especially in high-risk specialties.
Listen, missing a certificate of insurance or COI update guarantees a credentialing failure. It really is that simple. So, continuous tracking has to be our operational best practice. We must proactively request an updated COI with every single recredentialing cycle. We have to store these securely, and just as importantly, we need to educate our providers on maintaining uninterrupted coverage. Make sure they actually understand the necessity of things like tail policies when they're transitioning between practices.
And this brilliantly illustrates the 3 tiers of CLIA certificates. A lot of folks think CLIA is only for massive hospitals. Not true at all. Even a small clinic doing a simple fingerstick glucose test needs a certificate of waiver. If you step up to moderate testing, you need a certificate of compliance. And complex labs? Those require accreditation. Operating without the correct CLIA certificate leads directly to CMS noncompliance and instant billing denials. We have got to verify that these certificates perfectly match the actual services being billed.
Section 4. Top state licensing nuances. Now consider the stark contrast in turnaround times across state lines. California, you're looking at 4 to 6 agonizing months. They have incredibly strict board rules, requiring in-state live scan fingerprints and a massive education history deep dive via Form L2. Documentation errors there cause huge delays. Contrast that with Florida, which averages a much faster 60 to 90 days. Florida, much like Texas and Georgia, puts a really heavy emphasis on checking continuing education units, or CEUs. This just proves why building a state-wise compliance matrix internally is key. You absolutely cannot treat a California application the same way you treat Florida or North Carolina.
The complexities just keep coming, guys. Illinois will take 10 to 14 weeks, largely because we have to navigate this frustrating paper-based system where incomplete applications just disappear into a black hole. A challenge we also see a lot in Ohio.
Meanwhile, New York takes 3 to 5 months because of their complex dual board systems handling different provider types, which is pretty similar to the strict background checks and dual processes in New Jersey. To prepare for these bottlenecks, we've got to assign dedicated document scrubbing roles for paper states like Illinois, and use centralized master tracking sheets to coordinate between the dual boards in states like New York.
So, the crucial point is the zero-tolerance rule from the Pennsylvania Department of State. If transcripts or verifications arrive outside of a sealed envelope directly from the medical school, the application is denied. Period. No exceptions. They also mandate FBI fingerprinting and FCVS verifications. This highlights exactly why our attention to detail has to be completely non-negotiable. Knowing these hyper-specific state rules is exactly what separates a successful ops team from one that's constantly drowning in application rejections.
Section 5. Supporting documentation.
Let's walk step by step through scrubbing a CV, building a bulletproof credentialing file right from the ground up. First, we must enforce the month and year format across all CVs. Just putting 2021 to 2022 will absolutely get rejected by payers. Second, you have to identify any gaps in employment or training that are greater than 30 days. A 30-day gap will fail an audit unless, and this brings us to step 3, we secure a proper explanation letter or a letter of intent to keep in the file. This is how we standardize our prep work to guarantee clean submissions every single time.
Next up for supporting docs is the W-9. Did you know mismatched identifiers across the National Provider Identifier, the Tax Identification Number, and the legal name are a top cause of application rejections? It's true. The provider's name and TIN on the W-9 must perfectly match the IRS name control and align with the NPPES data. Even a slight mismatch equals an immediate payment hold. Because this is so incredibly sensitive, our operational solution is to fully automate this verification via APIs with NPPES and IRS e-services. This ensures strict HIPAA-compliant handling of all this data.
Section 6. Operations Best Practices.
Let's move to and see how this builds into our daily workflow. For primary source verification, or PSV, we can no longer rely on manual web searches. It's just too risky. We need to train our staff specifically on utilizing the Federation of State Medical Boards, or FSMB, and NERSIS lookup tools. Plus, we've got to leverage advanced software like Certifax or VerityStream to pull real-time board statuses. When we combine these tools with centralized multi-state license tracking sheets and automated expiration alerts, we will completely eliminate claim holds caused by lapsed credentials.
I want to leave you with this final provocative question. Honestly, look at your current multi-state tracking spreadsheet. Is it a liability just waiting to cause a denied claim? Or is it a dynamic asset driving our revenue cycle forward? It is time we challenge ourselves to finally abandon outdated manual paperwork processes. By fully embracing automated tracking, utilizing the latest credentialing software, and mastering these intricate state and federal nuances, we guarantee flawless credentialing and uninterrupted patient care. Thank you so much for diving into this explainer with me, team. Let's upgrade our workflows today.